Welcome back to the Jack and Jim podcast.
I'm the one that introduces it.
Okay.
Look at you. You got the mic right in front of your face. Good job.
Woo-hoo.
We're already making improvement.
Jack Mac
Shout
got a
out
haircut.
Body Armor, who is the official sponsor of this podcast now. We just announced it.
We just announced it.
Thank you, Body Armor.
Body Armor athlete, me and Joe Burrow.
Yep. No, they said not like an athlete deal. Like you're like it's more so like, oh, Jack Mac. And then like, if you want to do like drink it during your TikToks, and then it's like Maddie, like she can like come along, but they said no NIL, no deal like that.
Are you missing something right now?
Oh, my headphones. Also, you know what we are missing in here? What are we missing in here?
What?
Come on, think.
Bada bing.
Nope.
I don't know.
Come on.
A coffee cup because I always have one.
Think. No, not your coffee cup.
I don't know.
What are we missing?
Oh my God, please maybe move it back a little.
Okay. Jeez.
I don't know. What are we missing?
Our wigs.
Oh, yeah.
Come on.
Where did they go?
I think we
wore them once and people threw them out.
Just like they turned off our photo behind us. Somebody deleted our initial one.
It was crazy. Well, we also called that because it was very new at the time.
But we've only, guess what? We're here now.
We're official.
We're here now.
What are we? We're back up.
I want you to put a word out there that we're back up.
That's what I was trying to say at the same time.
No, I know. But I was doing it because you forgot it.
No, I was waiting for you to say back up with me.
Oh.
I was like, we're ready. We're back up. Oh
no, I want you to put word out there.
That we're back up.
That's right. And guess what, guys? We got one more in us.
And
I got one more in me.
I got one more in me.
Haircut.
Jack Mac got a haircut. It was
yesterday.
Crazy. Shout out Tessa over at Lacrosse and Pioneers. I don't know what it was called.
It was, I think, a hair by like Ruben Colin or something.
She did great.
She was great. People were liking the haircut. Some people were obviously mean in the comments.
You can't say it looks better. Like it really
thank you.
Does.
No, yeah, I got the haircut. I'm locked in, feeling good. I cut the beard too.
Yeah, clean shape, skin looks great. It's a glow up of the century.
Yes.
He's walking around the office. Everyone's like, oh, Jack Mac, bada bing. He's got a new glow to him.
The glow is real.
Sweating less. Like I haven't seen any perspiration on the forehead or any condensation.
No, you're right. Like we're just like,
it's just like a whole weight lifted off.
I'm feeling good. I was walking around today. I had a walk. I went to lunch and I walked back. And usually after the walk back from lunch,
it's my gum.
Yeah, that's gross.
Well, I think now that I'm realizing I might be chewing into the mic.
Yeah, don't put it on.
What if I just chucked it at you?
You could throw it up. Put it on my shoe.
Put it behind your ear.
Oh, gross. Okay, I'm gonna put it here.
So my sweat has been down already, probably 70 to 80%, which makes sense. This is the first real summer I ever had long hair.
Yeah, but it's like because now it's like long, but
it's still good.
Fluffy.
I like it.
I'm glad that it's like parted in the middle and not swooped to the side.
We're looking good. We're feeling good.
We're back up.
And for you, things are great. I mean, for you, I mean, some of your greatest, you've had some great videos. One of them was with me. Then there was another one with me. There was another, all of them are
Jack
all
Mac
with
goes
me.
to my page to see if the videos of him do better on my page.
Than with other people.
It's because people love the duo. That's why they're listening right now.
Yeah. The duo is duoing.
We're just J&J around.
And guess what? I think some big things are coming for you.
There's a lot of big things. One of the big things is merch is in the works.
Okay, so
it's pretty crazy, guys.
People are asking about it. And so what do you think it'll look, or not even look like? What do you think it'll say?
I think that it's got to say the original sayings like, see ya, bitch.
So,
and also salad is a new one. Bada bing, bada boom. I'm always saying. Just going to be the Jim's phrases that is used.
So
I wish I could put the jig on the back.
The jig?
You know what someone commented today? They were like you should outline your face like this.
Oh, that's
outline
a good
it
one.
And put it on the back or like on the front or something.
Or even like it's kind of like that could even be. I could see that being a kind of a logo of sorts.
Yeah, like just that outline people would know. I mean, that would be a crazy outline, but
I was thinking about how the green line test and whatnot.
Oh yeah,
and then it's like I have, and
you
I'll
could have
joke
merch for
about
that even maybe.
I was joking about it, and I'll joke and I'll be like, green line level test 101, and then 201's the claw, 301's the box test, 401 like college, which you're still in.
What?
Let me finish. Yeah. Like I'll say like green line test 101, and then the 201
I got
course, we go into other things.
Now we're talking college classes.
I was thinking, okay, so like, do you have with the gym slang? Do you have kind of like OG ones, new ones?
Yeah.
You know
That's
what I mean?
a good question. I mean, not like really. I think that obviously gym's like the OOG. Like if you're gym from the start. Sia Pizza's kind of like, that one really took off when I went back to school in the fall, because I would like say it when we would go out, I'd be like, Sia Pizza. And that's when no one knew what it meant. And I just like kept saying it and saying it until everyone around me was like, Sia Pizza. And then no, there's not really, like, usually it ebbs and flows. I've had sayings like, in high school, I always had sayings that would be like...
Well, you've had sayings from the start.
Yeah.
Even when you were...
I just say things... I just oversay things so much to the point where people have to start saying them. I mean, that's how gym started.
Remember when we were going through your Twitter? What was
Knickknacks.
Knickknacks.
I was in 5th grade.
I was
already calling people nicknames.
They were...
Nicknames.
Today, I was talking with somebody about data and whatnot of like, myself, because the data is
through the
phenomenal.
roof.
But then I was like, to the person, I was like, oh, we should really get Maddie on that report.
Which was great.
They were like, okay, could you just send me the links of her Twitter and stuff? I was like, I ain't sending that.
And then I talked to her and I was like, yeah, she was like, yeah, Jack Mack said like not the Twitter. I was like, yeah, no, there's nothing. But it's like me retweeting my high school papers I was in.
But
RIP.
Wait, how many goals did you score your senior year of high school?
I didn't get a senior lacrosse season. It's forever the worst thing that's ever happened. I think it like trajected everything downhill, to be honest. I mean, not saying that college was down. Okay, then there's that again. My junior year, I had like 82 goals or something, 78.
Yo,
something crazy.
82, that's crazy.
The most I ever scored in a game was 9 goals. But like our team wasn't that like our team was like clearly not the best, and like it's
all good.
I mean, it was fun. High school sports are the best. I'll always preach that. Best.
Now, so for the main topic today,
we're diving deep into the J&J past.
Need to get into not even the J&J past. Like I think something that people always discuss about you, not even discuss. They're in the comments are like, hey, Maddie, tell me how you got your internship. And I'm like, you need to do a video on it. And what's a better place, or at least one of the places, than to do it here?
Then on the J&J podcast, it all started basically with Jack. I would say.
So I don't even remember when I initially followed you, but I think it was like last spring. Not this spring.
Last spring. So before I started speaking to the camera, which is last summer, I would try to post daily videos of like artsy, like short clip, day in the life.
I can't even.
It would say like Tuesday. It would say like May 11th. Or like, it was a lot in the winter. My first viral one was like at home and had like 60,000 likes. It was just like artsy of me doing my day to day. I never talked.
That went off. Like, do you remember the feeling?
I remember just being like, wow, this is cool.
Okay.
But then I just was like, oh, clearly this works. So I'm going to keep doing it.
Mm-hmm.
People are obviously interested in the D1 lifestyle. And I also like to dance. So I posted in locker room one time a dancing video that was like,
that's one of the first ones I saw.
No, that's what happened. It was me, my friend Shay and Jamie, and we were doing like, what was this song? I could find it and send it to you. But then I got like a DM from Barstool Sports and it was like, hey, can we repost this video on Barstool Sports? And I remember being at a game and I came back to my phone and it was like, Barstool Sports tagged you in something, blah, 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 blah.
It was the athletes page though.
Maybe, I think so, yeah.
But I followed you before that. And then because we were doing the athletes page a lot, I saw that. And then I sent it to who ran that page. And I was like, oh, you guys should post this. And then you started to do stuff that summer.
Then that summer I went home and was like, I remember the day so specifically. I was like, I'm just going to prop my phone up. And gym was in my vocabulary because I was addicted to saying it and like, see ya, Pete. So I just started talking to the camera and being like, let's go work out. A lot of it was like, let's go waitress. Let's go work out.
Great start.
Let's and like just me being my crazy self. But it was barely, when I look back on it, it's so hard to watch because it's like now my editing style is different and like choppy. And
I remember you getting into your car a lot and talking about your waitress and like, hey guys, like I'm here.
And like people, and the first one I think posted got like 800 likes. And I was like, and the comments like my hometown friends being like, oh my God, you're meant for this. Like keep going.
Oh,
and I just stuck with it. And I remember telling my mom also like, I'm going to hit 10K before I go back to school. Like that's my goal.
Okay.
And I hit it. And I went back and the people at Marist, I couldn't have asked for like more supportive people. I was introduced to so many people I never knew who were seniors at the time. So I came back as a junior and it was like the first night we went out. I remember it so clearly. People came out to me at the bar and they're like, Moobie, we love you. My God. I was like, holy shit, it's happening. And
yeah.
It was the best year ever for it. And I just kept going. I remember they first started going viral at school and I went to French class and people ate that up. Yeah. And I had really bad acne at the time and I was like real about it.
Yeah.
People like,
I don't remember the acne. That would be weird if I remember, but
like,
I do remember your
cystic acne.
I do remember your post like what, a month ago or so when you were talking about that. And I had really bad acne too when I was in high school.
And it's like terrible. Like I wouldn't wish it really upon anyone.
No. And I still have like just my Irish skin and whatnot. It'll flare up. Like last week it flared up a lot. I had to go to the dermatologist. Thankfully the
dermatologist is the worst.
Well, the derma was very nice and really gave me something that worked, but it stinks. But right now both our skins are glowing. But so you're in school and then do you remember when I DM'd you? I think it's February.
I think so.
And I think I said,
I could probably go back.
I think I said, hey, do you like, what's your plans for the summer or something like that? And I was like, I'm going to recommend you for an internship.
And I was like, let's go.
So when you got that message, did you think it was like
we were going to be here
or not even here? Like, did you think it was going to work?
I don't know. I think I was just like, okay, let's see what happens.
That's not how you are at all, though.
I didn't like, because I wasn't gonna be like, oh, I got it. Even when I was like in the interview process, I was never trying to, but in the back of my head, I was like, I wasn't confident that I was gonna like get the internship, but I was just like, I mean, I was just banking on it and hoping and manifesting. It was either that or literally what I would have been doing is like communications or PR for an insurance company, remote.
And so I remember sending it, and then the people that run our internship, I sent to you over because it's a pretty selective process. And I was like,
which is really weird to think about.
And then I sent it over. I was like, hey guys, like this girl I followed for about a year now. I think she's really funny, and I think she could really have a cool like trajectory here. And so I sent it over. Then they were like, okay, yeah, we're going to give her an interview because like a recommendation like that, especially from me, I mean, let's be real, like really is like, I don't give them a lot. Like I've recommended like a few people. I've lied about recommending people before. Hopefully they're not watching. Like, people, like, can you recommend me for a job? And I'd be like, oh yeah, definitely.
Yeah, for sure. Then you never.
But then I don't. But like this was real. And then I remember
being like.
So your first interview was with Ben?
Well, yeah, but also, yeah, I think that it was like a couple. I remember checking up. I remember being like, oh, ha, that would be great to your first semester message. But like, I never was like, oh, actually do that. And then I think my parents were starting to be like, okay, what are you doing this summer? I like reached out again and was like, wait, let's actually do this whole intern thing. And that's when it took off. And that's when I met with Ben.
But also, we'll get to this in a second. My idea once. Like I recommended you with the idea, like I wouldn't like, who knows if I even like interacted with you. He
was like, okay, see ya. Like.
And so you interviewed with Ben.
Yes. Which is now my friend.
And Ben DiGiulio. And I remember specifically, he came down to my desk right after your interview and he was like, so that girl was awesome. And I want it to be clear, like we weren't really even friends. Like I didn't really know you. No. I was just like.
But we would like text occasionally.
Yeah.
I feel like.
No, not until after that.
Yeah.
But like we would DM.
Or no,
we
DMs.
DM like once in a while, but like we weren't like, I didn't know you.
No,
like
no.
You could have been an awful human being.
Yeah. And this could have been a failure.
Yeah. 100%. And then you got like another interview or another interview.
It was, I did it with Ben and I was like, wow, that went really well. I remember being so shocked seeing him for the first time that he had long hair because I envisioned him with short hair because it was like tucked behind his head.
Yeah. Ben's awesome. He's still like
he like totally saw the vision. I remember it was so crazy because they were like, "Yeah, we've been watching for a couple months now," and I was like, "What?" They're like, "Well, we watched the Get Ready With Me's and the spring break trip because I had just gone to Myrtle Beach for spring break with Lacrosse and like made it a point. Like it was the first time I was really people on my team. I was like being like, "Can you record me, please?" Like just and that's when I first said chicken Caesar salad too, which is crazy.
remember the first. That's the one that has the most. It has like 200,000 likes, right?
I don't know about that.
You're like chicken.
Oh no, that wasn't the first one.
Oh, okay.
I had said it before, but that one is just a video of me saying that, and it has a lot.
Yeah, it has a like, that one's awesome.
It's like 3 seconds long.
I remember the Myrtle. So I sent them in February. That's probably when they started to watch you. Ben's also the first person who was the first person that found Brianna Chicken Fry, sent him the gas.
Yeah.
So, and then I was like, when I told Ben, I was like, not to compare you to Brianna, I was like, I could see a trajectory where like we have, like it's an intern and she does really well. And then like, who knows what happens? He's like, yeah, I definitely could see it. And also, not to say you took a spot away from somebody, but like a intern is low risk. Like, unless you were like awful, which you weren't going to be, because you checked like multiple people's boxes. And then I remember I got told, I think 3 weeks before you got told that you were going to get hired. And you kept texting me like, hey, what should I do?
I was like, whoo, because it was like, I was also interviewing with the insurance people all the time. And they're like, yeah, okay. We're going to send over the offer letter. And I was like, holy shit, I'm going to have to tell them no. And then I was getting in my head, like, maybe I won't get it. Like, I don't want to bank on this or like, what's going to happen?
I also didn't know at the time how like, insane you were, so like in delusional that I was like, I could see why now.
I was like this in my room, like
because you were like always like, should I email? I was like, I don't know how many times I got to tell you. I'm
also a person like I didn't tell, like I told like select few of my friends, like not even like that they would be like, oh my god, it's the biggest deal, but I wasn't the type of, I don't want to be the person to like be like, oh yeah, I'm interviewing with Barstool and then like it completely fall through.
100%.
So I was like just doing it on my own, not really telling anybody. I'd like shut my door in my room, which like never happens, and like go on the meeting. And then I interviewed with Chuck and it went great. And that was like when I was like, holy balls. And that one was more like intense and questioning. And I was like, oh my God. And I was just like walking my family through it with me.
I'm going to read a text to you.
Were there other talent people like offered or not offered, but in interviewing?
There was not. She was the only one. I sent this. Gaz texted me. Okay, here we go.
What? When?
So this was on Friday, March 24th. So this is when they probably decided you were getting hired. You didn't get told until when?
May. No.
Yeah, like late April?
It was, late April.
And he goes, was it you who sent Maddie Schrader, TikTok girl? And he goes, I forget. And I was like, yes. And he was like, what's your opinion on her? This is really cool to look at. I go, was just very impressed with her fans, even though relatively low follower count. And
it's actually true. I probably had.
But, and then I said, relatively low follower count. She gets substantial likes, comments, and seems to have a fan base that follows her for her. Not weirdo guys or anything, all girls too. Seems sustainable and could be expanded. Then I go, I do struggle to see end game with her, as in where she would fit exactly into a specific brand. But it seems like she's very open to doing other tasks during an internship, which would allow her to be valuable in other ways than just her content.
Wow.
And then he didn't respond to that. But
he's like,
that was actually like on a Friday night at like 8 p.m.
That's crazy.
And then I got told. And you sent like so many texts, and I knew for so long.
So many. Every time you say so many texts, it was like
it wasn't.
I think I would said something to my.
I'm doing a podcast. Like it's like I'm telling a story, and then it's like somebody's on stage.
Oh my god! I'm just trying to banter. Now we're fighting.
The comedian's on stage, and then the comedian's on stage, and then it's like oh, that's so like you're exaggerating.
Now you're getting defensive.
No. So she sent 1 to 2 text messages. And then, but it was cool because you were like, hey, should I follow up? Yeah. You were like, hey, should I follow up? And I was like, no, I think you shouldn't. Like, I think they're just figuring things out. But you probably thought at the time I was giving you the runaround.
What is that?
Like you're not going to get it.
Kick to the curb.
But I remember,
just being like, oh, like I didn't know anything really.
And then you got told on like a Friday.
Then I went to fucking Buffalo, New York, Canisius College, played Canisius, lost horribly, had to drive 6 hours home, and it was our last game. It was in the MAC tournament, and it was like, if we win this, we keep going, sort of thing.
Yeah.
We lost. I was on the way home, and it was like, that was a low point of the season for me. I don't know. It just in season gets tough.
100%. It's a grind. And then
like you're on the bus alone, it gets dark, and then was doing a paper. I'm like, my finals. And then I get a text like Chuck Nasso, 2023 internship offer letter or something. And I remember like, oh my God. I remember this is cheesy, but I like teared up a little bit. And then I told Delaney on the bus.
Oh my God.
And she like, I texted her. I was like, I got the Barstool internship. And she like came over to my seat because we had just lost.
No,
like,
I get it. Yeah.
So she like came over and like we hugged and celebrated. And then I secretly like slowly told like my friend group. And then they all were like, holy shit. And then then I made sure I could announce it on LinkedIn and like my TikTok and stuff. And then that's when people around like campus.
But I also you texted me that and you're like, hey, like I just got I think on that bus ride, you were like, I just got the information. Or
yeah,
like,
and that's when you're like, I knew all along.
But that's when the duo started, because I was like, okay, that's great. But then there was probably like a month period where it was like,
yeah, it was like nothing. Senior week.
Yeah, and you were having fun. And then, but even like, I still remember the first day you started, I thought it was Tuesday. And I thought on Tuesday you were starting. And none of the interns were there after the Monday or the Tuesday after Memorial Day. And then I was like, where is everybody?
Which was such a quick turnaround, guys, because I had just went, I hate to say, to the Brooklyn Mirage before. And like I was going everywhere. And then I came back and had like 2 days to reset and I was like nervous about my commute. I never commuted in, didn't know where the office was. Came in first day, met up with Jordan, shout out Jordan. And then it was like all the interns flooding in. And there was like 25, I think we have.
Yes.
And I didn't like see you. I didn't know anybody. And then I think I saw you that second day.
No, I saw you the first day in the afternoon.
Yeah, but we like waved to each other. No, what was the day where I saw you?
You saw me on the first day.
Oh yeah, and we hugged upstairs.
Yeah, and then you said, and you were like, oh, like it was kind of funny because you sent me a text. You're like, I'm so happy that you are like not a weirdo and cool. And I was like,
yeah, well, I think that was like day 3. I was like, thank God.
No. That was day
we didn't
1.
Like banter day 1.
No, but you were just like, hey, like that was so cool. Like the day was awesome. Like I'm like, not to say exact quotes, but you were just like, oh, like, I'm glad that we like, because I think
you're not Jack Mack is a perfect example of someone who can like talk with a girl and a guy like on the same, like, you know, like it's like talking, it's like a constant.
Yeah. So what's a flow of conversation?
Yeah. And
obviously like if you meet, like, I mean, I'm not, you like to call me old, but I'm not like, I am old, substantially older than you. And it's like, oh, like the 26-year-old meeting the intern, you're 20 at the time. It's like, yeah, it could be weird, 100%. But, and then you were just like, oh, I'm just happy that like our conversation went well. I don't think we really even talked about that much. I was just like, how is everything, whatnot? And then
I think I remember like writing some like question, like,
oh yes.
We wrote like questions to like ask the office and you like looked at him and you were like, think better. And I was like, holy shit. Like, oh my God. And
but
I couldn't like the downstairs was completely different. So it was a bunch of desks. And I remember I had my first meeting with Logan because Logan wasn't there. And he was like, I was like, yeah, well, I don't really, he was like, try to get downstairs more. And I was like, well, it's hard because there's not really like a seat.
So Logan, for those who don't know, which is probably everybody watching, is like, he's very high up in the company. He runs a lot of things, specifically our reality shows. And he was just kind of like, he's your quote unquote manager for the summer. He just overlooks your content and whatnot. Yeah. He's great. He's been like at Barstool for 5 years. Because I started as an intern in 2017 and he came in, I think in 2018, but he was full time. And then he's been through the ringer.
Yes.
And then Jack and Jim started kind of
it really started
like a few days later.
Yeah. It was like a weekend. Well, we made our first video and it was the punching one. I remember me like, oh my God. Well, you had an idea right away. And then I was like, wait, it could be Jack and Jim.
So I remember something clicked in my mind. I was at home and he's
like,
And it was, I think in the morning. And I was like, wait a second. What if I did something like, because when you came in, I was just like, oh, we're just going to let her like loose. Like I didn't have this.
And to be like, in the beginning, it was like, that's what it was. Like was a lot. And when you look back at my content in the beginning, it wasn't really structured or like, it was which is good.
But you figured it out. And like,
which is where like Barstool is very much sink or swim. And it's like, you have 100%. To figure it out or it won't work.
Not to say that like we don't have a support system, but
if you don't fucking survive here, you'll be dead. You have to like, figure it out on your own.
1000%.
And there's people like not everyone's trying to help the interns out. Like no one wants to be their friend, especially like, yeah.
No, you don't need to say names.
No. I'm like, and fucking Joe. No,
we don't even have a Joe, but that would be hilarious if we did. Now all that being said, I remember then we go into the hallway near the snack closet. And I was like, okay, let's just do like because there was a PFL fighter here, Shane Burgos. And I was going to have you, okay, the first Jack and Jim video the first video you ever posted of me was me dancing and it did really well. And you were like, whoa, this guy's got the juice. Yes, you were like, Jack Max got the juice. No,
that wasn't the first ever one. Because really?
Yes, I was dancing like this.
No, I'm going to go back.
Now,
you can continue with the PFL fighter. That was our first Jack and Jim video. And I was like, and he was like, I've been assigned an intern, which here it is. Not he wasn't assigned me. We just came.
Well, that was like fake.
That was fake, but people actually thought that. Like,
but that was the idea. Yeah. And like, I could never tell Maddie what to do. I mean, I do on a daily basis, but like, I could never like really truly be like, yo, Maddie, go get me a fucking coffee, bro.
And I'd be like, kick rocks. I'd say eat bugs.
Eat bugs. But yes, that's how we did the
PFL, and then that did well. And then I started doing stuff on my, like just introduced, and then it just took off. Okay. And then our first ever Jack and Jim is when this picture was taken and we weren't recording. We weren't, right? We did record it.
I have the file.
Yeah. Like technically this is episode 5, 6,
or 5,
but 3rd on the YouTube.
No,
like we should
6.
go back.
No, it's 5.
First of all, I didn't even realize, look at Jack Max. Like, look at the difference. We've come far, kids. Oh.
So this is, but I still remember
this is zero sleep, commute, eating me alive.
I said to her,
sinking.
And I was like, why don't we just like go in front of some podcast mics? And like, it was like, we're not going to release it, but like, they'll just be funny clips.
We can cut it up and bait the audience.
And people were...
Drop this, drop it.
And then people were also just so
intrigued by us.
And still to this day, like even the DJs one did so well, the podcast mics. And now we have like some sort of official cameras.
We have
Diego's here. Like, but I like to pretend, and this is like a completely, man, I'm being really honest, but like, I like to pretend that it was like.
You're right. That was the first video I posted of you.
Yeah, it was. I know everything. I have a really good memory too. And the first ever, or like, I like to pretend that this was like a big time vision by me. I definitely saw the vision of Maddie in a way that like definitely other people didn't. And I still do. But I am... This stinks that she's laughing at me when I'm trying to be like mega honest and mega nice.
I was laughing at that you said other people didn't believe in me, basically.
No, not other people here, just more so like I was the one that recommended you. When a content intern comes in, it's not even because it's you. It's like people are going to like be like, who the fuck is that?
100%.
And then and I will say like your confidence is like what made you. Because even when you're in with people like over there, like you'll sometimes even be like, oh, I was so thrown off. Like, I don't even know that. Mm-hmm. I know you now better. So I do know when you're a little bit thrown off, but you're like, when you're over there and talking with people, it's like very impressive. And I remember day one, I was like, oh, she's going to be good. And then this thing has been like more than like amazing. I love it a lot. Not to get like sentimental, but it's so much fun. And it definitely is like, there's sometimes here people go in their own little like circles and they don't talk to anybody. Not that they don't talk to anybody, but this is like a cool little thing that's happened. Totally. And I can't wait to see where it ends up because I know it's going somewhere like we'll
go on tour someday.
Yeah. Mega big. Because I mean, the confidence I have in myself is like massive too.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, no.
Thank you.
Of course.
It's true though. And we bring like two different demographics and
Yeah. Now people. Yeah. No, I always like sometimes like it'll be funny. I'll be like, like Maddie will post a video of me and then like I want to read the comments and then like sometimes it's just like I get reminded people just say like really mean things about me sometimes,
which is messed up. But no gyms. It's only new followers from you probably in Barstool.
No, it's like people
the Barstool like fan base on the men's side.
No, it's always men with like no profile picture.
Yeah.
And now, but what?
But wait, you know what it says when I click on it? Follow back.
Yeah, of course. And guess what? The numbers, like, thanks for the view.
Thanks for the view. Thanks for that comment. Comments show a lot.
Thanks for the loop.
Yeah.
Thanks for the loop.
Thanks for the like.
Do you think I missed anything in your
past? I don't think so.
Would you recommend? Like, what about like a young gym out there?
Like a young gym out there. Like, how did I?
That looks at you.
Just like you really just got to be yourself. And I hate to say it, but have faith in yourself and stay true to you, no matter what anybody thinks. Because there are people out there that I know were gossiping behind my back. Like, you have to tell her to stop doing this. It's embarrassing. And like, you just can't let those people affect you. It's like you have to have thick skin and then you just have to keep going.
Yeah.
Until something great happens. Because if you truly love what you do, and that's what it is, it always has to be for you. Obviously, having a following is nice and getting that, but like, you have to post for yourself and make yourself laugh. Like, there's not a day where I go by where I'm not like, you have to love your content and love what you post and just keep being you, and it'll all fall together in this world of digital media and TikTok. You can really accomplish anything you want.
Yeah. No, I'm going to remind you. Yeah, I know, but I'm going to remind you. I'm going to clip that out and send that to her when you need to hear that, because that is true. And you
think that's true. That like, should I tell anything else to the young Jim?
No, I would just say like,
or even for you, like Jack Mac posted on. Jack Mac didn't always have 500,000 followers. You know what I mean?
It's almost 600, but yeah.
But like. And I'm not saying posting on TikTok every day is going to get you to Barstool, but it's like.
No, and also I think like this idea, it's like, oh, I want to get to Barstool, I want to get this. Like, no, just like make stuff. And like, if you make stuff.
You have to show people why you're valuable and the things that you do.
Yeah. And you had the gym thing and like, that's so huge. And then people like attached to you, and you would have never known that was a thing if you didn't say, you know what, I'm going to do this. And I'm going to do it no matter what. I don't know who was talking about in your bet, but X, Y, and Z says.
And you have to stick to it. Like Jim never changed to Jack and John. You know what I mean? Like you gotta call your people what they are. And like Jim, everyone's like, who's Jim? I'm like, Jim's everyone. Jim's the table. Jim's the floor. Jim's a word.
And maybe your thing isn't like, oh, the gym thing. It's like, maybe you just are like posting dresses or something. Like that could be like your gym thing.
What?
So like, not everyone's going to be like me.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like people will come up to me even here at Barstool and be like, how do I do green screens? I'm like, if you don't do that and like, don't know what to talk
then
about,
do something else.
Do something else. Like you have your,
there's so much. Oh yeah.
So I'm like saying like, maybe your thing is you're going out there and you're posting like, maybe it's just like, here, I'm going to vlog myself because I love taking photos in New York City. Like the coolest thing about TikTok is you could be like, there's UPS drivers, not to insult them, with thousands, tens of thousands of followers. There's people with like
100%.
Tens of thousands of followers talking about like marbles.
Yes,
like it's
that's
like
the thing. You can't sell yourself short, because you have to remember that people are interested in your life no matter what like you're doing. And I think a big part of that was like people were interested in my athletic experience, but like as long as you're just showing your day to day, people think that's cool. Like you have to think about the people who watch it. And
yeah, and even if you thought about your day to day,
it's completely
on
different.
paper, it could be pretty boring, but it's not in theory or like in practice. Mm-hmm. Like when you're at Mayor, it's like, yeah, it's like, oh, you wake up, go to class, go to practice, come home. But
and
like
it gets repetitive.
But there's things that are fun during like
100%.
And don't get bogged down too much in the, oh, no one would care.
Yeah.
Like maybe they will.
There are times, and I get that if people are just creating now, it's like, oh, I'm doing the same thing every day. But like it could be someone's first time seeing your video that day. So like you have to continue.
What would you say to someone that's like doubting themselves and posting their own content? She doesn't have
1 second, kids.
I would just say do it. Like you have to do it.
And it's sorry, continue.
Just because like there's a high chance that like you look back and you're just like, man, I should have done that.
100%.
Like there's always like, and there's little things like that in life, just in general. It's like, I should have done this. I should have done that. Like, what if you just woke up and you're like, no, I'm going to do it instead.
And that's sort of like, I don't want to be like, and that's what happened to me. But like,
no, but you did. You did it.
In our generation, especially, it's like we had people like Emma Chamberlain is a perfect example, like posted on YouTube. People would watch her, witty, funny. Now she's in like, she's like a Vogue model and does amazing. But like, 100 people, oh my God, I know 100% that people would watch her and be like, oh, I could do that. Like I'm funny enough. And I think when you have that bug, that little creative bug.
Yeah, that may be you.
You just have to pursue it. And it's hard. And if you get 0 views, you just got to keep. Sucks. Because I like created like, actually, I don't want to talk about it because I don't want people to find my old accounts, but there's like weird, or I tried to like, some didn't get a lot of likes, some did.
Guys, I was told by Dave Portnoy in 2019 that I was the most boring person he's ever seen on camera. And then he said in 2020, I'm a nobody. Like now I have 600,000 followers on a video platform app. Like there's so many things that can go wrong. But like, if there's anything that I think that is my biggest advice, is like, you just keep doing it. And then like also something will break through.
Yeah.
Like you didn't think Chicken Caesar salad would break through like it did, but it did.
Yeah. And like make it you. I think a big thing is like, not like have your slogan, but like, it's really helpful to like have your few things that people know about you and recognize you and like be authentic. Don't be afraid to just like be weird. Like
maybe that's
really just a weirdo. Like, you know what? I talk in a Southern accent half the time on my TikToks and that's not how I talk. Like,
and there's so many people out there.
People like to see that
kind of look at, that look towards, like with like they're afraid because they're like, what is someone gonna think about me? What is Jenna gonna think about me when I post this? And that's her friend.
100%.
But also like, guess what? Like you were just talking about Emma Chamberlain. Like Emma Chamberlain
was bullied in high school and she got so much hate in the beginning.
If Emma Chamberlain was across the, like, let's say she was just in your room with you, she wouldn't judge you for posting your first YouTube video.
No, 100%.
She was like, and she wouldn't judge you for getting 5 views on it because she was like, no, you have to start somewhere,
and you have to do it. Like it's a grind too. No one's saying it's easy. So
yeah.
You also, I'm like bleeding. You like grind for it, work for it. Keep being you, Jim.
No, yeah, we got a little serious there, but we did. I think it's important, and the future is like so bright.
Once again, especially really in this world today.
I'm really excited, but I also really like these moments right now when it's like, man, like, what is it going to work? Like those are fun, and stress is good. Like it's good. It's like, it makes you feel alive. I enjoy it. It's like, okay, like this is the thing you'll look back on and be like, wait a second, remember that? And you'll be like, yeah, I do.
Yeah.
So
stress is good to a certain extent.
Yeah, don't, like, if you have serious stress issues, I really want you to like,
if you post a video and you're like, get a hate comment and have a panic attack, like, then maybe it's not for you.
Well, maybe.
Well, like some people just don't or want to do it, but then realize that it's like not.
Yeah, it could not be for you. And there's nothing wrong with that. It's not like you have to make content. Maybe you just enjoy it. Like, that's also pretty cool too.
That's 100. You got to enjoy it to do it.
No, oh yeah. But like maybe some people just like watching. Like they don't.
Oh yeah.
It's like, oh,
some people don't even have usernames.
Yeah, like they are like a nurse, and it's like they really love being a nurse.
Yeah, like I love my 40-year-old demographic.
Yeah,
following.
and then they come. Well, there's nurses that are like 22, 23. I know. Yeah, but
I wasn't implying that.
But they just want to come home and be like, oh, this is so fun.
Let's check up on the Jack and Jim.
Yeah.
100%.
So it's not like, oh, you gotta fucking do this or you're not valued. Like
we're just giving hope to the people that want to post.
And
be you.
Also,
stay true. People
that post mean things.
Oh, that's another thing.
They're really
you have to think about the people that sit behind their phone.
Imagine going like
and commenting something mean about somebody.
Jack Mac is.
I feel like even if you hate someone, no normal person does it.
Literally.
Like, do you think you have a friend? Like, do you think you have a friend? Like, if your friend, if you heard your friend was going on Reddit and like posting that Jack Mac is like a disgusting, like whatever, like you would be wouldn't
be friends with them.
Yeah, they're
weirdos.
That's a weirdo.
That's a thing. It's like I just
like, who are these people?
I think about the people who comment that and they're like, you would never be friends with them. So why does our opinion
Even
matter?
if I hate someone, I would never comment on
I haven't been
page.
ever close to commenting something mean on someone's page.
It's very interesting. There's a quote. I'm going to pull it up about.
This is inspirational today.
About this specific topic. I think it's from Marcus Aurelius. Do you know who that is?
No.
Okay. Marcus Aurelius is very famous. Okay.
Should we do quote of the day now? Maybe. All of a sudden, this is like a motivational.
So it's like, it never ceases to amaze me. We all love ourselves more than other people, especially true of you. But care more about their opinions than our own. So I think I'm so much better than the person that comments on my TikTok who are mean.
But we care.
But that person, I care about their opinion more than even though I'm like, no, that's not true.
Another thing is you have to think about like people don't really, our egos are so big in everyone's mind and like our anxiety in our brains, but like no one really thinks about you more than like no one is spending every minute of every day thinking about you and hating on you their whole life. Unless if they do that, they're psychopaths. But like people aren't that self-centered or like other self-focused. I don't know the word.
No, they're not. The idea that they're looking so much into you. That's the biggest hurdle you have to get over. You have to be like, I don't care, even if they send that text in the group chat. Because truthfully, like, then this is something I have to remind myself too. It's like people are so busy. They have so much work. And then like they say something about you and they may not even really mean it.
And it's also, 100%. And you have to realize that a lot of the things that people say are a reflection of themselves.
Yep.
And their insecurities. And like you could say something to someone that could trigger something that happened in the past and then something could come out. And then it's like, oh, that hurt my feelings, but they're just thinking about something that's not, like people say things that they don't mean a lot of the time.
No, 1000%.
That reflect them.
They don't even really realize that it's why they're saying it or how hurtful it can be.
Yeah, that's like they gotta. It's when people get really, they have to unpack it themselves and
they'll take it out on you or like on whoever.
That's like family. That's what happens with like family fights and all that stuff.
But for the most part.
Keep being you.
But if you be you, there's a high chance that like people will be like, oh man, like I'm in on it. Like I think this is cool or like, but also like what they don't tell you is like, and I have to remind myself of this too, because I think the best advice I've ever been given outside of just in general was like, if you talk to yourself like you're your own friend, then it's like, that's how you really hack into something into your brain. Because sometimes you'll tell me things and I'll be like, I don't think you understand like how cool it is what you're doing. But then I think to myself about my things, like I still think I stink. I still think like I have self-doubt all the time. Like I have things that don't go well and I'm like, this is like over. And it's like, it was all fugazi. And it didn't work out. And it's like, whatever, Jack, like you just stink. But I've trained my mind well enough to be like, all right, that's like your negative side talking. Like, don't really buy into it too much. But like, what would a friend tell me? Be like, no, Jack, like you've already gotten this far. Like, if something doesn't work out, it's like, okay, that's not the end of the world.
A new door will open up.
Yeah. And it's like, if something doesn't go well, it's like you've done this much. It's like you've shown that people care. Like, why get too bogged down in X, Y, or Z? So talking to myself like a friend is the biggest thing I do for my self-confidence.
Self-love. Yeah, 100%. And like we said, confidence will take you really far. Even though it's like, don't be cocky.
Yeah, I never thought you were
cocky. But
cocky.
like hold yourself to the standard that you think other people should. Like you have to respect yourself in order for other people to respect you.
100%. And you have to take yourself seriously.
Yeah.
Also,
because in this world, you can also be like, especially when you make goofy content, like people, you do that. I'm doing that to myself by posting goofy content on TikTok. I'm like lowering people's respect for me.
100%. I see what you're saying.
Which is like my own, I'm never going to be treated as serious as I want to be probably in my life, which is like fine. But you just have to remember, like you have to hold yourself in these conversations that are important in life high, and like you are worth everything that you deserve.
Yeah.
For people to like respect you basically.
Yeah. And just really believe it's going to work. Like
don't be fake. People can read through the fakeness.
Like really be like, no, this is going to work. And like, sometimes you have to be delusional. Like you have to be like, no, this is going to work.
We talk about this a lot, delusion.
Like just.
But like delusion in a good way. Like don't gaslight yourself into thinking things happen that didn't happen, but like 100%
or like
see it. Like people talk about manifesting and like as a joke, but like you have to see your success and like think about it
100%
in the ways that you don't have to write down in a book every day what you want to accomplish, but like just never set. Don't set limits for yourself.
I think manifesting is great. I personally pray, but I like when I'm doing that, and I do it a few times a day. Like I am locked in on like I want this, I want that. But I'm grateful for like what. Also, like you have to like be pretty like what I think of like in these moments is like I'm so grateful of everything that's happened. And you also have to be like sometimes like maybe something doesn't work out. Like who knows if you really would have even liked it? Like maybe it wasn't supposed to work out.
Yeah, you have to also when negative things happen with bad comes good. I always say.
Yeah, what happens when something goes bad? What do we say?
Alhamdulillah.
Alhamdulillah. And then good. Yeah, we say good.
Yeah, because you got to bounce back.
And I've seen you personally bounce back multiple times in impressive ways that makes me think.
Last I took an L, but then that I bounced back.
Yeah, exactly. Like you can take L's, but then the next day, okay, I had my time to like cry like a little child. Right. No, I'm not saying you.
Oh.
I'm saying like in general, like even if you're not actually crying, like be like, oh, I'm like a little like,
yeah.
And then the next day it's like, okay, we're back on the path.
Yeah. And you also can't show like, you also have to almost gaslight yourself and be like, I'm fine.
That's the delusion.
Like you just have to show your weaknesses to the right people.
I have a self mantra that I tell myself all the time. I actually told it to Maddie once and she just ignored it.
Zero clue what it is. But I definitely said something about it, but
you're like, oh, that's cool.
Because it is.
That was like probably the most personal thing I've ever shared with her, but like we'll keep climbing up that tree.
I didn't know.
Climbing up that tree, and then also if like you are further along, sometimes you just got to realize it's happening. I was listening to this Drake interview, and he was like,
with Bobby.
No, it was from like a little bit ago, but the Bobby one was great too. I loved it.
Bobby should come on.
Yeah, Bobby, I'm sure is getting a lot of podcast requests, but
she doesn't do podcast requests. She doesn't do.
Oh yeah, they were talking about that.
Who was I with?
BFFs was talking about it. And Dave was like, oh, fuck this person. Yeah. What? Is she not funny enough without a script?
Yeah.
Whatever. But sometimes you have to realize like, hey guys, like it's happening right now. And like, you have to embrace it because like there is like a sense of momentum in this world that if you don't grab it when it's happening, like it can go away. I've seen it go away from a lot of people.
Mm-hmm.
And you have to grab it. That's the scary part. You got to run with it.
Yeah, that's true. You got to grab it while it's hot.
But
sprint. That's
what we're doing. We're sprinting. And like sometimes you just got to look yourself in the mirror and be like, no, this is it. It's happening right now.
Yeah.
All right. So this was more of like a less like fun one, more like not even serious. I would just say.
Well, this is the story
the story of Jack and Jim.
Well, it's a great storyline because it's like we start of how it started, who I am. People might be here and not know, like how we became Jack and Jim, and then like anybody can do it if you put your mind to it.
Yeah, and for me personally, I started a blog when I was probably 11.
Yeah, Jack Mac's been out of the grind.
And then I like made probably 15. They all failed. I only sent them to my friends. Then I was a stand-up comedian in 2015, 2016, 2017. I realized I wasn't good enough. I started really blogging seriously in 2016, got internship at Barstool. 2019, I got put on the college football show, which is like our flagship show now. I was kicked off of it one show in. I was called the most boring person Dave's ever seen on camera. And then 4 years later, we're right here. So,
Not saying that this is like we're the biggest thing of all time.
No. What I'm saying is like,
you can do
like, this isn't, I'm saying not this right now, but like you can, like, even when like people that you think are like amazing. And that's not to say, I would even say like what Dave said there was true. At the time, I wasn't good enough. And I got cut. Like, that's what happens. And that doesn't mean I'm mad at him, but like, you just keep going. And the biggest thing I've ever done at Barstool is just stay alive. Like, I just stay alive. And like,
I think that's what you could say that's what a lot of people do. I feel like staying alive because you can get your head cut off here.
And it's like, if you just stay alive, you stay within the doors and the walls. It's like,
then the doors will, then, this little intern could come in.
Yes,
and
exactly.
Save your life.
Who knows? Yeah. Well, I did that to you. Let's not forget about that one. But yeah, like, I mean, I like, it's the Jack Mac Star Maker. We'll see who's next after this, but
maybe I'll get an intern one day. What'd you say?
I said that was such an investment.
Yeah.
Future parlay you had there.
A huge investment paid off for me, but like, we still got a long way to go. I haven't still got my investment back. Like, I still got a little bit of a way to go.
What are you investing in me?
What I'm investing in you is I showed you how to work but I've like if I thought you were like a bum or a loser, I would be like, no, you
Jack
can't.
Mac's been a fan of you from the start. I can attest to that. Is that the right word?
I remember because I remember I helped you with expressions, and like you handled it well, and I was just like, oh, he's fine. And then the other guy liked you too. And then I knew you were doing other stuff. I don't work with you directly, but if I thought you were a bum or something, I'd be like, no, or I thought you were a weirdo. Like, I'd be like, no, you're not allowed to.
Also, I feel like there's our intern class is pretty good.
Other than Maddie, we don't have any weirdos.
Oh, funny.
Yeah. Let me think. There's some I don't like.
Rank them.
No, I ain't
come on, baby. No,
there's some people I think it would like destroy them. So I wouldn't do it. It would be mean. Like, I just don't have that in me. But
there's a lot of them.
There's a lot, but I actually would say, I even said it to Rowan yesterday. I was like, this is the most talented intern class we've had.
And I feel like, I don't know. Well, it's also the biggest mix of boys and girls. I feel like it's also the first time it's like HR is really dealing with it, right?
Yeah, there's a lot of really talented guys and girls.
For sure. That's what I was going to say. Like, there's no bum interns here because you have to be like really good. They hold the interns to like a high standard, I feel.
Very high.
Yeah, I feel like they've told us stories of them saying terrible things about kids.
Yeah.
That they just didn't do anything. And for our class, I feel like they haven't.
Went on dates with people here, right? Didn't one guy do that?
That was Mantis, but wasn't he full time? He would sleep here.
Oh, what? I saw that the other day, that clip. I saw that clip.
He was full time, but there's been bad interns, man. There's been a lot of them, a lot of weirdos.
Can you say your least favorite?
Least favorite ever?
You don't have to say his name to say why.
Or her.
I do have a least favorite ever. Yeah, it's a girl.
Why her?
It's like, I don't want to say it here. She just spread lies about me.
Do I know who it is?
Lame.
Yeah, I think I told you about that.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Outside of that, I would say I've liked 95% of our interns, or even 98.
I used to see all of your intern rankings.
Yeah, like even the people that didn't get
when
jobs.
I was in like high school.
like even people like who didn't get jobs, I liked them.
Yeah.
Like I was like, oh, they're cool. There's been a lot of people here. I'm like, you're a cool person, but it's like you're lazy as fuck.
Like you got to do more.
Like yeah. Like they just weren't doing enough. And then I was just like,
oh yeah, that's
but I didn't
grind. Like the people who, and this is what they say in the interviews, like the people who come here who succeed are the ones who like don't slack off, work, don't like use like go out or blah blah blah. I mean, you can still have fun, but you just gotta like put in the work first.
That's what I would say.
Earn your stripes.
Yeah, it's like 3 months. Like just like really lock in for 3 months. I'm not saying you. Yeah, like you said, go out, like have fun with the interns. Like when you guys go out, that's really cool. Like you're supposed to enjoy it, but try to just offer everything. But I would say both you guys have done that, and most of the people here, like I haven't heard a bad thing about the interns. Like
knock on wood.
Knock on wood. Yeah.
Jesus Christ.
Like, there's some people that I'm like
right now.
That I'm like.
What'd you say?
I said we're on the final stretch right now.
Yeah, it's final stretch of craziness. 3 weeks and then I'll go, or I'll stay. Or I'll.
Yeah.
Would you drop out?
I've been asked this so too many times. I don't know. There's got to be something. There's got to be something to decide between.
What are you gonna do without me in college?
I'm just gonna keep on. We could do this. Couldn't I zoom in?
Not that way.
Nah, that's ass. I might just become Jim.
Oh my God. Yeah, because Diego is gonna probably work.
Tell you.
I would freak out if it's all of a sudden Diego's face. I'd be like,
I'm gonna get I got somebody in mind to replace. Goes to NYU.
Okay. Hollywood
There's a wait
freak
list.
out. Not actually.
There is actually a wait list. But,
there's a wait list for me too now. I'm being serious in the way that we're gonna go for 3 weeks or 2.
No, I would actually.
Is this only one episode this week?
Yeah, but this one's long. I would never replace you. No, this is something that's going to be very lucrative for the foreseeable future. Alhamdulillah, inshallah, that will happen. But I do think it will. So I would never replace you. But that would be funny.
Also, it would just be imagine if someone else was here and then I can just see the comments like, oh, Jack replacement.
I mean, also, like, I'll be honest, like. Actually, I'm not going to say that. It was too nice.
What?
Maybe I'll say it next podcast.
You said that last podcast. Like, I'll say something.
No. It was like, I can't. Like, that's like, I was too complimented of this one. So next podcast, I think I'll bring that
You
up.
don't accept his compliments at all.
I do accept
don't worry,
them.
I know. Don't worry.
What do you mean? What am I supposed to be like?
No, don't worry.
I say thank you. That's one of my bad habits. Sorry.
No. But that's like, it's like, I'm so used to that. It's just
Thanks.
like, I give it. And then like,
It's like
because
thanks.
I know she's like,
I'm accepting it and feeling it everywhere. Or not everywhere, but but
like, it's like, she's like battling against it. It was the same thing with the haircut yesterday. She just like, she'd be like, wow.
Nice.
Nice. Like, not like, oh, it looks great. Like, wow. And I'm like,
guys, I do accept. What do you mean? What am I supposed to be like? Thank you.
No,
and then
I told her today I needed a haircut and she's like, yeah, you have a mop on your head. And I was like, all right.
I told her about that actually.
Well, okay. So this is the last Jack and Jim podcast, right? Is it?
What?
Is this the last Jack and Jim podcast?
Lucky for you.
Today is not that day. All right.
See ya.
Like, subscribe, comment.
Oh yeah, like, subscribe, ring that
Comments
bell.
are huge.
Comments are huge.
We love and we reply to them.
Repost.
Unless they're like mean, because why would we reply to that?
Wait, can I plug something? I produce Scumbag Golf. Comes out Thursday.
Oh shit. Yep, that's our producer. Bada bing.